I bought these two units in December last year because I was really fed up with plugins and computers. So this is vintage synthesizer. This one probably from 70s, 75. It's one of the first analog synthesizer from Holland, and this one is from the 80s. This one is really good for bass and leads and all kind of plastic sounds. This one is really warm and it's good for brass pads and some bass as well. So this one is completely amazing because you can do anything you want with it. There is 6 individual outputs. There is 12 filters, which are amazing, and it's plus a lot of other features. But it's really a good machine because sometimes programming analog synthesizer is really difficult if you don't have specific knowledge of what is a synthesizer is. But this one helps you to understand what a synthesizer is. In fact, it's really easy to use and it's really cool. You're not getting lost in sub-menus or whatever. It's fast and effective.
And what do you use the sequencer for? Do you trigger in these with?
Yeah. So this one is MIDI. This one is not MIDI. It's just with CVs and gate, or you can play it with a keyboard. But I bought this as well a couple of months ago because it's really good to. I mean, sequencing with this type of machine the result is very quickly you can obtain loops, which you will never think of if you play it manually or with a sequencer like Ableton. You just touch this knob, blah, 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 and something magic is happening, which is impossible to imagine in your head. In fact, it's just, I don't know, it's really cool and it works really perfectly. So it's really, these two instruments are really working well together because they don't have the same type of sound and they are really
they sit well with each other.
Yeah. So this sequencer is cool. My keyboard, in fact, my keyboard ASR10, which I use as a master MIDI keyboard and as a sampler as well. It's a very good machine, very old, with a very specific sound. But it has a kind of problem, and all the ASR10 have this problem. When you program drums in MIDI, the sounds are not really tied together. In fact, there is some delay. So
latency.
In hip hop, it's not really problematic because the kick on each beat is not here, but with dance music, it's a bit problematic because sometimes it's not really tight.
And all the pedals, do you use pedals a lot?
Yeah, chorus. It's really, I mean, these ones are really cool. It's a bit expensive, but it's really cool. The chorus, it's really fantastic on pad and brass from analog synthesizer if you want to widen the left and right. And these 3 ones are really cool because it's really warm. It has beautiful sound, really, really cool. It should be, it's guitar effect, but you can use it with everything.
You literally just plug them straight through a chain.
Yeah. Tuck. Then.
That baby.
Yeah. So I'll just explain you about this one.
Do you use outboard reverb and stuff?
Yeah. I bought this. This is amazing. It's a Lexicon delay from the 80s, I believe, PCM42, and I bought it in October last year, and this is what makes me taking the decision to buy this again. Because it's an analog delay with fantastic sound, and when I compared it to the plugin, yeah. I noticed, wow, what the fuck is going on? This is really much better than the plugins. So it's just a delay with, but I don't know, it sounds really well, and, really warm, and it's cool. So very good sampler, S760, with probably it has the best sound compared to the SR10. I think it's the best sounding sampler, but it's a bit a pain in the ass to program and blah blah blah. It's not really sexy, but I still use it. API, EQ.
You're going to keep putting more in there over time? You're going to fill the lunchbox full of loads?
I'm not sure, because it's the first time I'm buying this type of EQ, and I don't find it easy to use, in fact. I don't know. But yeah, I will keep on buying preamps and keep on searching with this stuff. So a standard Mackie mixer. It's really not expensive. Synthesizer from Studio Electronic from the US. It's a bit like this one. It doesn't have the same sound, but I mean, it's polyphonic, 8-voice analog synthesizer. It sounds different from this and this. So.
Do you use it a lot?
No, I just plugged it again yesterday because I was a bit fed up, and I think this one is much better. But for some kind of effects or sci-fi effects, you know, or strange stuff, it's quite good. MPC60, which is really cool. The sequencer is amazing. You can program beats in 10 minutes. It's really intuitive. It's really perfect. The problem is the sound. It's maybe when you sample it, it's a bit too compressed, and so for dance music or electro, it's not exactly what I need. But it's cool anyway. What else? So this one is probably the most important. It's a converter. It's just a really good converter. So it keeps. I mean, the original sound is just once it's converted, it's just same sound, in fact. So I think it's probably the most important piece in my studio, because if you don't have a big good converter, all your work is fucked up during the transfer into the computer.
You're using this equipment, definitely.
Tapco monitors, which are not very good monitors, but I feel like if it sounds good on this, it's going to sound okay on probably everything. And
the F16, tell us about the
F16.
That story again.
That story, yeah, it's very expensive sampling machine for drums, but I bought it in the UK to somebody who didn't have the knowledge of what it was. It's a very good machine. The sound quality of the samples is just amazing. So it's really for working with drums, in fact, drum samples. But it's amazing because you can select the sample rate you want to sample at, and it can go from 96K to something like 12K or even less. So you can have a sound which is worse than the SP1200 or better than all the other sampler. Yeah, so it can go to perfection to really bad sound, and it's really cool. And so really, there is not that much function in the sampler. It's just editing, but. The cool thing is there is some very simple functions which are fade out or fade in, and it's very interesting to do this on samples, in fact, on drums, or it's really
different envelopes and stuff.
Yeah.